What's going on, guys? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and I think this weekend, at least a little bit, we were bucking the eBay trend.
Mountain Man. Treasures.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Troy. I'm a reseller in Montana. That means I go to garage sales, I go to estate sales, I go to thrift stores, I go somewhere where I think I can find something that they didn't price high enough. So I buy it, I bring it home, and then I sell it online. For the most part, I do that on eBay. And there are a lot of people right now that are a little bit sky is falling, thinking that online sales, eBay in particular, maybe it's Etsy or Mercari, Poshmark, wherever it is, that it's dying, right? That, sales are slowing down. These things are going away. I don't think they are. We definitely sold a fair amount of stuff this weekend, and if it's any indication, I think we're going to be okay. Let's take a look at what's sold, then we'll come back and I'll talk about what I think is going on. Quite an array this time, though. I guess that's kind of the case every time. And a couple things that I bought just this weekend moving out. This one of them, Sims, is a pretty high-end fishing brand. If you come across that, that's their standard logo, is the trout. And this is just a cool hat. This I did pick up on Saturday. Actually wasn't even for sale, at least not in the sale. I saw he had another hat sitting off to the side that was Sims, and I was joking with him and said, "Hey, I see you're hiding the good stuff and not selling the Sims." And he came back about a minute later. He goes, "Well, I would sell this one." So, yeah, deal. Charged me $2 for the Sims hat, and it sold for $15 inside of a couple hours. So this actually headed down the road to Bozeman, Montana. They actually have I think, is their headquarters there or something? They have a big office there. So $15 on that Sims hat. We have some other hats as well. Jason Aldean, this one I got at Goodwill for a couple bucks. And it's been sitting around for a little bit, but it's a cool looking hat, I thought. And I got an offer of $10 plus shipping. I think I had it at $14, and I took that. This I picked up this weekend, Vortex. It's an optics company that makes scopes and binoculars and that sort of thing. This was $1 at a garage sale, and I took an offer on this one of $9 plus shipping. And then Ducks Unlimited. You guys know I like selling the DU stuff. This has the tag still. This was a Goodwill pickup for $1.99. Generally more than I'd want to spend on Ducks Unlimited, but it did still have the tags, so I knew it would sell. It picked up really quick interest, and I had a couple of offers, and then somebody came in and picked it up at my full listing price, $9.98 plus shipping. We'll move over here. Let's see, tucked in here, we got a couple of enamel pins. We got Doctor Strange, of course, and the Eye of Agamotto, these two going together, and these sold for $9.98 plus shipping. Got a Monster Jam truck. This one's been sitting around for quite a while. I do really well on the double pack, and usually it's the store exclusive double packs that do well. This one's been sitting around for a couple years, and no real interest in it at all. And so when somebody sent me an offer, I wasn't even going to counter. It just needed to get out of the store. So $10 free shipping on that one. We've got a couple of, well, I guess kind of two figures, right? This one is like an action figure. This is an old Fisher-Price. See, he's got the diver's watch on there, the shark on the back. So the shark diver, old Fisher-Price from, what is this? I think 1974, something like that. And this one actually going international. It sold for $2.99, but they're paying international shipping for me to get this to Singapore. I've sold a few things to Singapore before. Very often it's like camera equipment, actually, that I've sold over there. But this guy, $3 plus that international shipping. Then we got the moose. This guy has been sitting for a little bit. He's got a tiny bit of damage right there on one of the points you see right there on the end. Cool little figurine, though, so I knew I should pick it up. I think I paid like $0.25 or something for this guy. This type of stuff sells pretty well for me. And this is a Singing Tree brand. It sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Underneath that, a nice sale. This just recently coming in. The IPL laser hair removal. And so this has a little power deal, plugs it into the wall, and you can set the levels on there, 1 through 5. And there's actually a light here on the end, and a laser, I guess. You select your level, hit your button, and it flashes like a camera flash. And I guess it's supposed to zap that hair. And so I picked this up at a garage sale. Actually, last summer, this has been sitting in one of my death piles. And I saw it sitting there, and I thought, why don't I list that thing? I know it'll sell. I actually only paid $0.25 for it. I don't know why she was only charging $0.25, but she was only charging $0.25. And I said, does it work? She said, yeah. And I tried it out here again before I listed it. It definitely still works.
No, Kelly Clarkson!
And it sold in a matter of days. And for this, we're getting $38.99 plus shipping. That's a pretty solid turnaround. Movie back here, Metropolis. Not a high dollar movie, but picked this up for probably $1, I think, in a bulk lot. And it was one that just didn't turn out to be very good in that lot. But, you know, you sell them all. And I priced this one to move just to get it out of the store. And then I actually sent an offer. So I had it at $2.99. I saw I had a watcher, and they bought it for $2.49 plus shipping. Then we got this. Has been sitting around for I don't even know how long. A couple of years maybe. At least a year. At least last summer. Mindfulness and the Brain. Picked this up at a garage sale for next to nothing. And it did sit around for a while because I guess it's looking for that right person. And I did have it priced a little bit high. This one ending up going international as well. 40 Great British pounds for Mindfulness and the Brain. It's a professional training in the science and practice of meditative awareness. I don't know. We got a lure down here. These are, it's a quantity listing, which is nice. I don't even remember how many we have. We have quite a few of them. $7.99 plus shipping on this. Hopefully they start to sell. It is getting to be about that time where people are out and about and fishing. We've got actually a viewer sale. We should do that. Good friend of the channel and supporter of the store, Angel. I got this weekend. The old classic. I mean, you weren't cool unless you had one of these. When I was, what was this, about junior high, I guess, maybe? Right around that time.
Would you rather have a calculator or a watch? With a Casio calculator watch, you have both, and it works with one finger.
I paid $1 for it this weekend, and Angel picked it up for $13 plus shipping, and Angel also picked these up. I got them all bundled in here. We've got, there's 5 different Bud and Bud Light koozies, and so that, like a can koozie, that's also a can koozie. Those are for bottles, and that's when you're really thirsty. We got the big boy in there. And I got these along with some hats this weekend. She threw those in. I paid $2 a piece for 2 different hats, and both of them had some of these in it. Some of them were just generic koozies, and I did just put those in my donate box. But the Bud and Bud Light I bundled together. And Angel picking these up for $9.98 plus shipping. So I'll combine these, Angel, and get you the refund in that difference for sure. Black label for the PlayStation 2. Not in great shape. You can see some waviness there, and the art's a little bit worn. But Dynasty Warriors 5. This is Empires. Again, for the PlayStation 2. It sold for $14.29 plus shipping. Crash Bandicoot. We've talked about him. That's a good character to watch out for right there. Very often. Pretty good game and good selling game. Again, for the PS2, this is Twinsanity. Also for $14.29 plus shipping. Lower dollar sale here. The Beatles Rock Band. This one, had a little bit of label there, and these don't sell particularly well. Most of the Rock Band stuff doesn't, but there are a few that do. This one, kind of there in that middle ground. It does sell, just not for much, and so I priced it low, priced it to move. $8.48 free shipping. So, I mean, it's going to go out probably at the 4-ounce rate, so we'll make a few bucks on that. This one also, you'd think maybe it would be worth more, but it is not. For the Xbox, this is Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. And this one sold for $8.99 free shipping. All right, had to move some stuff around just so I could get to the rest of it to show you. This pretty cool. Flintstones. This is from Bedrock City in Custer, South Dakota. An old pennant. And it's not in perfect shape. It's got some pinholes and some little tears. Really cool imaging there And these are relatively rare. Picked this thing up at an antique store, and we made a decent little flip. We paid, I think I paid $8 for it, and we got $34.80 plus shipping. So I'll take that. Then we got Electro. A lot of the 12-inch figures that I find just don't sell well or not for much. There are, of course, exceptions, and I don't know that this is necessarily an exception to the rule because it didn't sell for an awful lot. I got this off of a Whatnot auction, actually. I think this one from Dave, NC Picker. Paid a couple of dollars for him. And he's supposed to have, you see, he's got like the electric bolts coming out of the hand there. He's supposed to have another set. And so he would have actually done a lot better if I'd have had both sets, but he had one. A lot of times, both of them are missing. I got $14.29 plus shipping for him, so I'll definitely take that. I think that's pretty solid. Mr. Wonderful was a Goodwill find. I want to say he was $2.99. I can't remember, but these things sell very well. It's got a good sell-through rate, especially since he has the box. It's, you know, the box is a little beat up, but it does still,
Why don't we go to the mall? Didn't you want some new shoes?
Yeah, so see, he's Mr. Wonderful.
It's an absolute dream.
The ball game really isn't that important. I'd rather spend time with you.
So, there you go. Mr. Wonderful, $24.04. I got caught in a sale, so a super weird, even for me, number. $24.04 plus shipping, so happy with that one. Easy to put a box in a box, right? Cabbage Patch Kids, look at this. CBK down there on the collar. There we go. So goofy looking, kind of creepy looking, but this an old, what is it, like Adopt-A-Pet or something from the 90s. Relatively rare, if you come across them. Probably worth picking up. This thing sold within a day or two of me listing it. And I had it up at about $25, free shipping. And ultimately, we went back and forth a couple times on offers and settled in at $22 free shipping. And judging by the address, looks like this one headed to a freight forwarder. So it going overseas ultimately. Spidey, he's been sitting around for a while. This one with the tag. And somebody got a good deal because I wanted a sale. And this one is probably 2 years old. It's been sitting around for a while. And so this is probably a $12 mask or something eventually, but it had its time. It didn't sell, and so $7 is what I sent an offer out, and I got an offer of $7, and I took it. So $7 plus shipping on the Spider-Man mask. We've got an old Structo pressed steel truck. See, that's Structo Farms. I put this one up to auction because I wasn't sure what the value on it would be. It's supposed to have like a picket guardrail all the way around the side, a white picket guardrail, and it didn't have that. And it's also got some damage. I mean, there's some bends, there's some dings. So I thought, you know what, let's just let the market decide. These sell pretty well. I put it up to auction. I was hoping I'd get a few more bids, but you know, it's all profit. And like I said, when you put things up to auction and you don't know what the market is, you're just saying whatever you tell me it's worth is what I'm going to take. So that's the risk of auctions. And I'm still happy with it. We got $27 plus shipping for that. And shipping is going to be a little pricey, and that's why it holds the value down a little bit on these, because they are heavy. A lot of these trucks, like this one, is probably 3.5 pounds just on its own, 4 pounds. I'll have to put it on the scale again, but they're very heavy. So $27 plus shipping. Then you might remember the Badger Pelt from our recent negotiation video. He doesn't have the legs and the claws still attached, or he'd be worth a lot more, but it's still in nice shape, and it's a pretty full pelt. And so I knew somebody would want this for, you know, their cabin or something like that. And we paid $20 for it. We bundled some stuff together and got a little bit of a deal. And I knew we wouldn't make a ton, but it's a cool thing to have in the store, and I knew it would sell. And I took an offer on it of $50 plus shipping. And one more to tack on there that I almost forgot. I Ching Delamore.
It must be Italian.
These going for $25.99 plus. I believe it's international shipping up to Canada. If you guys come across tarot cards, they don't necessarily move quickly. Some of them do, but they tend to sell for pretty good money. So really nice mix of things there, right? Nothing really high dollar, certainly. I mean, I don't generally find a lot of high dollar stuff. You know, it's just not the right area for it for me. Every once in a while, we find those and sprinkle those in, and when they sell, we go out and we have steak, right? But more often than not, we're eating hamburgers, and it's okay. I like hamburgers, a little bacon, little cheese, some onion. I'm happy with that, and we got a lot of hamburger kind of sales. I think that's something that people ought to look at doing more. I got a comment here recently saying, hey, I watch a lot of YouTube resellers and some bigger channels, and their sales are slowing down. They're saying that things have really dropped. There was a story here recently that sort of made the rounds of, e-commerce is going down as the conclusion they made was people going back to brick and mortar. For a couple years, obviously everything was juiced way up. I think they're partially right. There are a lot of factors that come into play here. They're right that people are now going back to brick and mortar stores. I would agree with that, but I don't think that's the reason. The online market was also sort of artificially inflated, right? And so while it is dropping, it's more price correcting than anything else. It was inflated for a couple of years. That's where everybody went. And now when there is more option for brick and mortar, people aren't in lockdown, that sort of thing. It is spreading it out a little bit, and it's coming back down to earth. So is it dropping? Yes. But it's not plummeting farther than what it was 3 years ago, right? It's just settling back into where it should be. And so, yeah, your sales are going to be slower than they were last year or certainly the year before. Doesn't mean they're bad. It's just back to normal. We just enjoyed a couple of years of extra. But, there are other factors. Obviously money is a little bit tight right now for a lot of folks. Gas is up to like $6 a gallon in some places, right? I mean, stuff is expensive. And there aren't the bonus checks aren't coming into people's bank accounts. For a lot of people, that money was needed to get by for the month. For others, it was, hey, we got this bonus check. What should we spend it on? Some of that was in our stores. They were buying stuff online. Those aren't there anymore. Again, the market is just correcting. So what do you do? This person had asked me, what are you doing different that your stuff isn't slowing down? And I told them, well, there's a lot of things. One of them is I sell lower dollar items. I'm selling $3 plus shipping. Obviously that's not much, but like those hats, right? We've got a $15, we've got a $9 in there, we've got a $10 in there. None of those are all that high dollar. None of those are fantastic sales. But what did I have? 4 hats there, and we're going to sell them for $45. I didn't do the math, but that adds up, right? It adds up relatively quickly. And so I think one of the things you can do is sell some lower dollar stuff. People, they aren't going to go right now and impulse buy a $50 item. They might impulse buy a $5 or $10 item. And while they're there, they might go, oh, I like that too, and get a second one, right? So that's something that you can do. I think you can price competitively. I think while people complain about it, I think running promotions is a good idea. Do you want to lose extra money to eBay? No. But your margins should be able to handle it. And would you rather make 85% of what you would like or let the item sit? Make your choice. If you're going to let it sit, you got to be good with that decision and let it sit. I'd rather move it along. So I go ahead and I do the promotion. I run a sale. Try running sales. See if that works. There are lots of things that you can do. Obviously, it's the list more and the more active, but, send and take offers. That's something you can do. Like I accepted a couple offers this weekend that maybe I didn't necessarily love, but they were okay, right? So maybe accept some more offers. Lots of stuff. Ultimately, we're not in control of eBay, right? The magical algorithm, we don't understand necessarily how it always works, but there are things that you can do. And another thing I would say is sell internationally. I sold that little $2.99 figure to Singapore. People will pay up if they can't get the item where they are. That's what retail arbitrage is all about, right? You might still just be picking up something from Target, but if that's the hot ticket item and it's not at that person's Target, where are they going to go? They're going to go to eBay or they're going to go to Amazon. It's the same thing selling internationally. They might not be able to get it where they're at, and you have it and you can sell it to them. So open up your sales to international selling. And I think that's another way that you can help battle back against things slowing down a little bit. Another thing that you can do, I guess, if you're a reseller is pick up Whatnot. For whatever reason, I know there's a bit of a visceral reaction to that word for some people. I don't get it. It's just another platform. We're actually going to be on it. If you're watching this day of, later this afternoon, I got a whole bunch of plush. And I don't have room for it in my store, and in my storage, it just takes up too much room. But they're cool stuff. Yeah, I got Disney stuff, vintage stuff. There's a lot of cool things. I just don't have the room to sit and wait to move them out. And so we're going to do that on Whatnot, So I'm moving 24 of them, hopefully, this afternoon. It's going to be 3 o'clock Eastern. And then I've got more. I've probably got enough for at least another 2 sales of plush on Whatnot. So plush sales coming up. Follow me on Whatnot, MTN_MAN. But that'd be another thing. Pick up another platform and just give it a shot and see if you could move some stuff on there as well. That's my advice. Again, leave yours underneath. But the video is getting long, so I think it's time to call it. We'll see you next time.